You know, this is why it's always great to not go into too many films with high expectations. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion/review for Bloodshot. I really do appreciate it. And if this is your first time finding me and you want more movie reviews from myself, please right now go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And if you like the video, give me that thumbs up because it helps me out a lot. Bloodshot is the latest comic book adaptation that is hitting our theaters right now. And if you know me, you know I love comic book adaptations. I mean, it's only my favorite type of movies in the entire world. Now we have Bloodshot. But to be honest with you, I did not know that Bloodshot was a comic book or based off of a comic book. I only found that out as I was preparing for this review. But it has Vin Diesel in it. I am a fan of Vin Diesel. I liked him in Triple X. I liked him, or I still like him in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Liked him in Riddick that came out a number of years ago, and even Saving Private Ryan in 1998. I mean, I think he's a great action guy. He does a great job. I don't really go to the theater to see his acting chops, but like I said, he does a decent enough job to get the job done. But now we have Bloodshot, and this movie is being directed by Mr. Dave Wilson. And this is actually Dave Wilson's first film debut. He hasn't done anything before this other than a TV short called Love, Death, and Robots. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. If you have, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But I mean, I was looking forward to this movie, but at the same time, my expectations wasn't through the roof. It looked like it would be pretty decent. That we was going to get some nice action scenes, some fighting, some cool technology, all that good stuff. But before we get into the review, let me tell you what this movie is about exactly. Well, Ray Garrison, an elite soldier who was killed in battle, is brought back to life by an advanced technology that gives him the ability of superhuman strength and fast healing. With his new abilities, he goes after the man who killed his wife, or at least who he believes killed his wife. He soon comes to learn that not everything he learns can be trusted. The true question is, can he even trust himself? Now, just going through that synopsis right there and the brief description I gave you before that with the technology and the action and all of that, it seems like this movie would be off the chain. I mean, that is a really cool concept, something that I will be all over. But it comes down to execution and also experience behind the camera. And I just have to say, guys, that the execution and the lack of experience behind the camera, not saying that I could do better, fell short by a long shot. I just have to blame that on Mr. Dave Wilson because, guys, there really wasn't anything about this movie that I liked, unfortunately, except for, I guess, a montage training sequence when Vin Diesel's character, Ray Garrison, was learning his new abilities and learning how strong he is and, you know, being in the gym. But other than that, it was a frustrating, hyper technological mess. And I was happy when it was over. And I started to realize that about 30 minutes in, like, okay, I don't think this film is going anywhere. Please, can we fast forward to the credits? But why didn't I like this movie so much? Well, first of all, let's just run down the list. Let's just talk about the characters. I did not care about the characters at all. I mean, none of them were over the top. None of them were silly or over exaggerating in their acting, except for one part, which I'll talk about in a moment. And those are things that I normally complain about. But this film, this script, this story just gave you no reason to care about the characters. I mean, the main character played by Vin Diesel, Ray Garrison, or Bloodshot, you barely get to know him. And he just seems like he's in an environment that he doesn't belong. I mean, earlier I talked about him being in action movies and I liking that, but just seeing him as an elite soldier just kind of seemed artificial to me and just something that I really could not wrap my head around. And I like Guy Pearce too, and you know, he's one of the main people in this film as well. He's a baddie. His character's name is Dr. Emil Harding. And, you know, he came across kind of flat as well, just generic, and there was just nothing threatening about him. Just on the protagonist and the antagonist side, no one really gave it their all. I mean, the protagonist was weak, and I guess there were villains in this film, but they were just weak and just, like I said, did not have anything threatening to them at all. Skipping past the characters a little bit, talking about villains being threatening. I mean, there were just no stakes in this movie at all either. Like I said, you didn't care about the characters, and when Vin Diesel is doing his thing and he's in danger, I never felt like he was about to die. I never felt like he was in peril. And even if something were to happen to him, it just really didn't matter because he died anyway. I'm not spoiling anything. That's all in the marketing material. He died anyway, and he was just being brought back to life. And the technology that was infused in his body, made him basically like an immortal damn near. I mean, this guy could take everything. I mean, it just didn't matter. You can hit him with so many punches, so many bullets, so many explosions, and he was just able to wipe it off. And, even with the technology, I was just saying to myself, especially towards the end of this movie, like, okay, there's no way in hell that this character could have survived that. But he did survive and just came back in the end and just, kind of walked away and just dusted his shoulders off. And that's very frustrating because the film just doesn't follow its own rules. When you have a film, especially a comic book film, you always have to set up the rules, in this universe and stick to them. And the way everything was written out, I was like, okay, if this is how the technology works and these are the character's limits and this is going down right now, this character should be dead. But they just kind of say, oh, F it, we're just going to do whatever the hell we want because we can. And that just doesn't make the film better. It makes it worse. And like I said, I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about their relationships either. When I watch the Fast and the Furious franchise and I see Dom, Vin Diesel, with his girl Letty, was it Michelle Rodriguez, I believe their relationship. I mean, it's something that I can somewhat relate to. It's something that I aspire to. Like, man, these two characters really do love each other. I hope that I can find a love like that, for someday in my life. But that's not the case here with this movie at all. When I see him with this one, I'm like, really? That's not a real couple. They don't look like they're together at all. This is a horrible match not made in heaven. Get out of here. Get out of here. So I didn't care about the characters or their relationships, and just the dialogue between them just was bland and kind of dirty too. Now, just going to the good things real quick. I mean, some of the effects were good. I will kind of say that I did enjoy that just a little bit. And there was one actor by the name, his character in the film was named Wilford Wiggins. His real name is Lamorne Morris. I think I've seen him before. I believe he's a British actor just by his accent in the film. I could be wrong there. He was cool. At first, he was just kind of annoying to me, being a little bit goofy, but, kind of towards the end, he did have some comedic elements that I did appreciate. But that one little tidbit right there of being good does not wash away me not caring about the characters, their relationships, no stakes in this movie, and just absolutely no form of tension whatsoever. I mean, it just wasn't. Those times where you're supposed to be at the edge of your seat, just like, oh my gosh, this character gonna live, die. It was just really nothing there. And like I said before, especially in my intro, not the intro, but the first part of this review, I enjoy Vin Diesel as an actor, as an action guy. I don't go to the theater to see his acting, but I think he does a serviceable job. But in this right here, his acting was even bad. It just wasn't good, especially when he was trying to emote or just come across angry. I mean, imagine being in a heated argument while you're constipated at the same time. That's how his character came across sometime in this movie with the dialogue, and it was horrible. Now, one of the things, I can still somewhat enjoy a film if all of that stuff I just listed previously is bad, but I still have some great action, some great choreography. And that was non-existent in this film is too. Dave Wilson has no idea where to put the camera. And that's very frustrating when you have all these souped up soldiers in this movie with all these technological advancements, new legs, new arms. I mean, you had one character who breathed out a machine in her chest. One character's eyes were destroyed, so he had cameras all over his body, and everybody is like super strong, and they have just gadgets and gizmos everywhere. I mean, they make James Bond look like a preschooler with the technology and the gadgets they had. But you couldn't see anything that was going on when there's like a chase scene down an alley or a street, or just a fight scene. I mean, like I said, the director just does not know where to put the camera. You know, at one time, you had this one character that had these, his legs, he was an ex-soldier, his legs was blown off, so he had mechanical legs, and he was able to run super fast and hop around like a dang kangaroo or a souped up bunny rabbit or something like that. And I was like, okay, it's a chase scene, it's gonna be badass or whatever. But the director kept shooting like his lower torso or the ground. I'm like, no, let me see his whole frame. Pull the camera back. You know, show me that you know where to put the camera. Show me that you know how to choreograph a fight scene. But, you know, I just was sitting there frustrated, just like, what the hell is this? I can't see any goddamn thing. Now, there's another character by the name of Katie, or KT, played by Isa Gonzalez. She had the best choreographed fight scene in the movie, but it was only like 15 seconds, and it wasn't that good. It was just the best. Everything else was just horrible, you know, so that was just frustrating. But the movie, guys, it's really just, you know, a bunch of style without any substance. Because with some of the editing and the way he was trying to put some of the scenes together, I saw what the director was trying to do, but it just didn't work. And this film it just wasn't good at all, really. I mean, it was a bland, generic, hyper technological mess, and this is easily forgettable. And I just don't want to see the movie again. You know, David Leitch and Chaz Stahelski were first attached to this, or first approached for this movie. They were both responsible for John Wick. If they would have had their hands on this project, I thought it would be lovely off the chain, but unfortunately it was not. And we get this piece of hot, well, I don't want to say hot garbage. It wasn't that bad. It just wasn't good. I can't recommend it. So if I had to recommend Bloodshot out of a 1 out of 10, I was going to give it a 4, but now I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Yes, a 3 out of 10. But guys, that is just my opinion. Okay, are you interested in seeing this movie? Are you a fan of the Bloodshot comic book? Please let me know down below in the comment section. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please help me reach 30,000 subscribers. And also, guys, look me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all that good stuff. It's right there at the bottom of your screen, and I have links down in the pinned comments and in the description box. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion/review for Bloodshot. And before you go, don't forget to always chase your dreams, because I'm chasing mine. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.